Good morning, everybody. This is Rick with Hitting on Candlesticks. Today's date is Monday, July 27, 2020, and I'd like to wish you a wonderful, wonderful week here. Hope everyone had a terrific weekend. Hey, I do want to reach out and remind you that the trade ideas we're looking at today, as all the trade ideas I look at, they're ideas that I'm putting on my watch list. I may or may not trade them, and they are not recommendations to buy. So I just want to shout out that important piece of information. Okay, let's get started here. So Friday, we ended up with a very clear, clean doji at the end of the day here. So when trading a doji, it's pretty simple. What we're going to look for is, are we going to have trading that confirms over the doji's high, or are we going to have trading that confirms below the doji's low? And what I mean by confirm is close, not just a peak intraday, but we want to see a close up here. We could also see just a simple close inside this green box here, which just simply outlines the bottom and the top of Friday's doji. In which case, what we're going to need to see there is, again, follow through. Are we going to break out, or are we going to break to the downside? So that's going to be the big thing that we're watching here on the SPY. The Qs, let's get rid of that. There we go. Qs gap down. Doji, a little bigger body here on the doji. It looks like we're opening up a little bit higher. Again, the big trick is, are we going to show that follow through? We can put a trend line up here, and you can see we actually have closed below the trend line. Well, I guess if we put the trend line here, we're still quite a bit above the trend line, but we have a pretty nasty looking top up here with a downtrend working right now. So at the very least, we need to see this bottom form up, and maybe we could end up with something that looks like maybe a back, watch for a high, and then a higher low, and then maybe a higher high that breaks out, and that could lead us up here to break out. FNGU, keep an eye on this chart. I do believe the big tech is leading and still leading. I also believe that it's going to control the market for a while, probably for a long while. I'm not ready to be very bearish. In fact, all the trades that we're looking at today are all to the long side. As I mentioned last week, I'm not ready to be bearish on this market yet. The bigger picture, we are still trending up. If you take a look at that weekly chart, still a very nice bullish chart here. Just having a little bit of, temper tantrum. Bulls are taking a rest, and the bears are taking advantage is what's happening now. So let's see if we can't turn this around a little bit. Today, a lot of gold is popping up, but we're not going to talk too much about gold because it's gapping up. So what are you going to do? Chase it? Well, I don't think that's very smart trading. So let's let gold alone for a little bit, let it settle down. If you're in it, congratulations. Nice trade for you. Remember, gaps are gifts. Stocks always come back, and they'll always give you a chance. Beautiful chart here. We've got a nice breakout in AEM. Again, I just don't want to chase any gold. Here's Ego. Ego's gapping up. Sand. Sand is up a bit. Not a great big gap, but up a little bit. Here's GOLD. These aren't trades, by the way, I'm putting on my watch list. I'm just simply pointing out that some of the metals are up, and we want to be careful not to chase. Okay, so here's what we're adding to the watch list. I've got, let's start with BBBY. There we go. So what I'm waiting for, BBBY is a buying opportunity. So let's put a line right there. It appears after the gap, we've got 2 full days, and the 2 full days have held above the gap up into here. Earnings not till September. So there are some stocks out there that have past earnings, so we don't have to worry about some of them. This week is a heavy week on earnings, so do be careful with that. Stimulus information coming out, and I believe there's some Fed talk coming out. So big week, big week. Lot of information, a lot of news. Could be a real game changer. So right now, what I'm looking for is stocks where we don't have earnings too close, and BBY, Best Buy, is one of them here with that gap up pullback. So now what I'm looking for is follow through. If I start to see follow through over Friday's high, then that's where I may become a buyer. And I'm looking at 104.50 up here as a target, and that would put me in the 7% range. And seeing how I'm probably, well, not probably, guaranteed would buy an option, directional call option, that's going to put me in the 15-20% range for profit on this. But again, I'm going to wait for those buyers to start coming in, and over Friday's high is what I'll be looking at. Lulu is one I've got on the watch list. Now, Lulu here has been trending up. A little bit of a pullback here after this gap up. So there's a top that we broke out. So here we've broken out, and then we've pulled back. My favorite trading pattern, which is just a continuation pattern. It comes in many names. Everybody wants to name it something, but the fact of it is, it boils down to being a continuation pattern, and that's we'll just add for this one time, this conversation, on a breakout, because that's what we have here. When we see it rally up and we see it pull back, what we want to do is start looking for buyers stepping in, chart moving up, and then we want to be in it for that run to the upside. And that's what I'm looking for on Lulu. I'm also looking for about 337.50, then about 253, maybe 254 on Lulu. But we're going to have to see those buyers, proof that we're going to hold in this area here. AA, Alcoa, Alcoa is another one. Doesn't have earnings till, October 21. Let's put this line right in here. Just to point out that breakout, and now you can see how we have a nice bullish engulf here that led us through the breakout, led us through this top, and now we've had a little bit of a pullback, coming back down to support. When we start to see buyers step in, that's when I'll start to look to buy it. But for now, I'm simply going to keep it on my watch list. Simply keep it on my watch list till I'm alerted that buyers are coming in. And what I'll be using, the tool I'll be using to be alerted with, is the live trading alerts alert. This is one of the windows right here. There's several windows, alert windows doing different things. This is just one of them right here. 12 and a quarter up here is what I'm looking for. So, with an entry around 13.20, we're looking about 16 and a quarter on the stock. That puts it somewhere 30-40% maybe on the option. That would be a nice trade on Alcoa. FedEx earnings September 15th. On FedEx, there we go. You can see FedEx has broken out. FedEx trending up. There's the pop, and here's the pullback, and here's the consolidation that we're having. So inside that buy box would make sense to me on this one, just because it's been moving for 3 or 4 days now. 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5 days now. to the side. So I may look to be buying FedEx inside the buy box, and then we're looking for 176 up here, 6%, maybe higher on FedEx. Yeah, that may want to pop. In fact, let's just see here. Whoops, let's fix this, do that. Yeah, let's put another line on FedEx up here, around 182.90, 193 maybe, 183, excuse me, 183. So we've got two possible cash-in areas up here on FedEx. Ultimately, it's going to need to break out before it becomes a money maker. So we're going to need to see that breakout. So watch for that. Make sure you put your stops on charts. Stops protect you. We can't be right 100% of the time, despite what some folks seem to shout out. They're right hundreds of times in a row. That's baloney. They're not. And, let's just use some common sense. We can't be right 100% of the time. You can be right 70% of the time. I think that's a fair amount to be right, around that 70%. And you can make very, very good money at that. Very, very good money. It's more than making money. I think it's more important to protect your money. And if you find that you are looking at a trade, you're in a trade, and the trade doesn't work out, you need to be out of it right away. What I have found personally is that if I'm in a trade and it goes wrong, man, I can find every reason in the book to hang on to it. I can find tons of reasons to hang on to it. Not a one of them is worth a tinker's dern at all. And I always tell members in the trading room, when is $100 loss good? Well, when you finally take the $500 loss, that $100 loss is looking pretty sweet right now, isn't it? So depending on your trading, depending on your account, you can either add or subtract zeros, but it's the same thing. When is the smaller loss better? When you take the bigger loss. So make sure you put those stops on, protect your money. The winners will come. Wendy's. Now, Wendy's has earnings, okay? This is my closest earnings here coming up. Wendy's has earnings according to TC2000 on the 5th of August, but it is an awfully nice chart pattern, and there is plenty time to trade it the way I see it anyway. Looks like we might be opening up just about where we closed Friday, or at least in the upper wick area here. I'm looking for 2470, possibly higher. Let's jump up. Maybe we get to 26. Maybe we get up there to 26 or so. Just remember it has earnings. We're right at this breakout point. So let's put this line up here, right there. There we go. We're at the breakout point. So I think what I would be looking for is pop, rest, and then trade. And we've got a nice base hit at 2470 with possibly a big money maker here at 26. Another one is Coke. Coke is looking pretty good here. Some folks are in Coke. If you are, fantastic. We've done our red-green flip here, or our trend indicator flip, where we flip from red to green. Nice little double bottom. Chart's looking fantastic. We start moving above 49, 50 bucks here. I'd look for 52.50, 55, even up here, maybe getting back to 58. It's a slow goer, but it's a nice steady chart. Good company. So Coke might be one to keep an eye on. Target, I guess with the possibility of kids going back to school, Target could be a big player here. Above 126, above 126. I'm looking for 129.70, then 134 in a quarter here. Make sure you keep your stop in. You can see that, there we go. We draw this trend line. Let's make it like this. There you go. We've got this trend line in here, and we've got some lower highs, and now you see we've broken out. So now what I'm looking for is that follow through, and when live trading alerts, the alert window over here, or one of the other ones I have, when it starts alerting me, I might be able to catch that and then catch a trade up here into some pretty good money. Nice little base hit and further. Earnings on the 19th, according to TC 2000, so mid to late August. That still gives us, what, 2.5, 3 weeks maybe, that we might be able to trade target. TCOM had a great candle. That's just one thing I like about this one here. Had a nice candle on Friday. We've got a series of higher lows, but we also have a series of lower highs. So bottom line, I don't want to chase TCOM in here, but I do want it on the watch list. I want to keep an eye on it, and I want to be alerted when it breaks out, and then I will look for consolidation here, create that buy box, and then I'll be able to watch for a price action alert that could pop me up to $30 or even higher up here, 33-ish, yeah, somewhere in the 33 area on TCOM. DKNG. If you look at that right there, we've got a nice trend flip. This is a trendicator flip. We've gone from red to green. So let's put this line right in there. And with 44.50 and $50 as possible targets, little base hit at 44.50, then a good green bar or a good green cash in maybe at around $50. Beautiful, beautiful little, here, let's put this up here first. There we go. We're going to put our buy box in there. So we've got a very nice run up that broke us out, and then a little pullback for consolidation. A nice candle on Friday. Nice price action on Friday. Good volume. Take a look at the BOP down here. BOP is looking pretty good. So I'm kind of liking this DKNG. A gambling stock, right? And earnings on the 14th, which is kind of around the corner, so we want to keep an eye on this. I don't mind trading up through earnings, but I don't always like trading through earnings. In some cases I will, but by and large, I don't particularly care for that. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank you very much. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. It's like an attaboy. Makes us want to get up early in the morning and do more of these. I appreciate it. So remember that thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, please do so. And have a great day, and I hope to see you in the trading room. Take care. Have a great week.